Hi, y'all. Welcome back to America Tells All. I'm so excited to be back for the episode 5 recap. Before we get started, make sure to go follow and like wherever you listen to podcasts and go subscribe at americatellsall.com. We also do have a Facebook group. Make sure to go join that. It's called America Tells All. And the password for the week is Gucci Flip Flops. I'm so excited to be here with the wonderful Maryanne Oketch. So enjoy. Hi, y'all. Welcome back to America Tells All. I'm so excited to be back for the episode 5 recap, and I'm joined by the wonderful, the iconic Maryanne Oketch. How are you, Maryanne?
Oh
I'm
my
so
goodness,
excited to
America.
have you.
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to talk about the Golden Bachelorette. Sad that people's dreams of love were crushed. Every single rose ceremony just tears into my heart because when they say that they feel like they'll never love again, it actually is a possibility. But I'm ready to talk about episode 5.
I know, and it was a good one. I was blindsided.
Yeah.
I did not
Oh
expect that rose
my
ceremony
goodness.
at all.
Yes. No, that was wild. Especially too where I was like, we start and it's like no roses will be given until the end. I was like, so this is everything is high stakes every single moment because you don't know. The suitcase isn't there. So people aren't like, are they going? Are they staying? So it was a stressful time. Like, and it really like in the ending of the rose ceremony, everything I was gagged, gooped, and gollied. Like there were some people who I did not think was gonna be there. There were some people who I did think was gonna be there, but oh my goodness.
And this doesn't happen on the show often,
No.
right? Where like the edit sort of like leads you to think one thing and then they're like,
Yep.
actually, we're going to go in this
Yeah.
direction.
Absolutely.
What is your experience with the Bachelor Nation world? Like, did you watch before this? Like
Okay.
Bachelor, Bachelorette? Like, are you
Yeah.
new? What's
So
the
I
vibe?
watched bits of seasons and episodes back on and off. Okay. So my first remembrance that I have of The Bachelor, I'm closing my eyes so I can remember, I believe was my sister made me watch the Ari season, I
Oh,
think, and I've
no.
caught the tail end of it. No, my
Yeah.
sister's actually so bad at choosing seasons. Want to know what my first episode of Survivor was, America? My first episode was when Jeff Varner was voted off in Game Changers, and that's also known as the episode when Jeff Varner outed a contestant. That was so she's really bad at choosing these episodes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I was
So
laughing because I don't know. I don't
no,
watch
that was the
Survivor.
first one
Like,
for yeah, there was episode. She's like, "Oh, you should watch this episode," and it's literally someone like a trans man being outed by someone else, and it's like known as like one of like the
Corey told
worst
me about
moments of
this.
Survivor. Yeah, yeah.
Suri was there too, right? Like, yeah, because I remember him telling me
Yep,
like Suri was there and everyone's like
yes,
looking like, what the fuck
yes,
is going on?
exactly, crazy. But back to The Bachelor. So I watched that, and watched Becca and Ari and whoever Ari's final two was, who they're still together. So I guess he made the right decision. But my first full season, of course, was the cursed pilot Pete season. I know, right? I really choose the
Not
best
Pilot
seasons to
Pete.
start on. So with friends, we joked around. We're like, Pilot Pete obviously started the pandemic because his season was just so cracked. With the
It was
pictorials.
him.
It was
He
him.
did
It was
it.
him. And then on and on, then I watched pretty consistently until I want to say Joey's season. I followed, but I didn't watch. And then,
That was
I
recent.
love.
That was this year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think maybe Joey's and maybe the guy before him as well too.
Oh, Zach. Could have
Yeah,
been an email.
yeah. So I missed
That
those
whole
two.
season.
I think the last one which I watched was with Katie and Katie season.
Katie's
And
season was also kind of a mess.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I know with our little Canadian, that season could have literally been an email because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that one was the one could have been an email. But still following, so I knew like the final twos, what was going on and everything. But I always watch Golden because like these people are coming for love, and this season has been so good. It's been amazing. Like every single person known to man, I have been a Charles L fan. So I didn't
Yeah.
even like everyone known to man. I think they're all just so wonderful, great people, like just so cute and sweet. And this episode where they were talking about hometowns, like talking about going to family, like, oh my goodness, that it pulled my heartstrings.
It did. They can feel it. Obviously, they're all very anxious about hometowns next week.
Yes.
Chalk was a little bit too antsy for me. He
Yes.
was aggressive. I don't know.
No.
He started talking about it in his confessionals, like,
Yep.
I don't care about the other guys. And I want
Yeah.
the rose. I'm like, is he sort of becoming our villain a little bit?
No, I know. And it came out of left field. Like, because I was like, oh my goodness, Chalk, so great. I totally understand. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chalk, about like your wife and then your mother, like your life story. I'm like, this is so great. Then suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? Who is this? Chalk, who are you? But it's still so funny because it's like when you become villains, it's still so cute. Like when Chalk was like spending all the time with like with Joan, it was like he was still just like right there bowling and people could still talk. So it's just so fun. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Little Chalk.
I don't know. That's our villain, y'all. The guy in the yellow right there, that is Chalk. And I mean, just look at Joan's body language. I just think
I'm so closed off. It was so closed off.
I don't think she was feeling it.
In HD. We can see that closed off. Look at that. She's touching him, but not leaning into him. For those who are just listening to audio, her arms are wrapped around her legs, not touching him at all. He's doing great, but like she's really like in that closed off space. I saw that and I was like, Chalk is not getting a rose. Like she's not feeling it. And then when he got a rose, I was shocked.
He's doing too much, but like she does seem to give him back like what he's looking for.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Chalk is super vanilla. I think he's like kind of a bland guy. And he is. And they obviously like really like each other. And they're into each other. But the vibe of whole like him being like really possessive over her and like I just want to take you home. And during this date, so this is the group date.
We skipped ahead
a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went bowling. It's a group date. There's a ton of other guys there, and Chalk just pulls her aside and he's like, so what side of the bed do you sleep on?
Which is crazy to ask in a bowling arena. Like
whispering in her ear.
That was great. Not, oh, how long have you been bowling with? Oh, do you bowl with your family? Oh my goodness, what other things do you like to do with bowling? Oh yeah, what type of side of the bed? That's final. That's what Fantasy Suites is final 3, right? So there's still a lot more time for him to go than
the Fantasy Suites.
Exactly. Like bestie, that might not even be your problem. You still got to make it past hometowns.
Exactly. He's just I'm like, oh, I would have been hugging my legs too if I had a man whispering.
Call 911.
Bowling alley.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my god. That's what I'm actually gonna do. Actually, next time Connor and I Connor's my husband, for those who don't know. And next time Connor and I go bowling, I'm going to look him in the eye and ask him what side of the bed he sleeps on. And I will report back his reaction, and then we can judge if that was an appropriate question to ask in a bowling alley or not.
You have to have him whisper it to you while you're with a bunch of friends.
I'll whisper to him. Exactly. Oh, yeah. We'll go with a bunch of friends, and then I'll whisper to him, so what side of the bed do you sleep on? And he's going to be like, we sleep in the same bed. Number 1, you should know. And number 2, that's crazy to say in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
While mic'd up. Oh my god.
No. Okay, so this is Chalk mic'd up. Can you imagine the shit he's going to say in Fantasy Suites? I need the live feeds for that, please.
Okay, absolutely. Give me the live feeds. I'll subscribe. What is it on ABC? ABC. I'll subscribe to ABC Plus. Get those live feeds. See the little angles.
Golden Bachelorette After Dark, please.
Yes, on Pluto TV.
You know what? Maybe we'll find out that Chalk is not so vanilla and he's not so bland.
Oh, what is he? Tahitian vanilla?
You're so funny. But this was a cute little bowling date that all the guys went on, and they're sort of upset that they're not getting time. And the guys are like, hey, like, come on, Chalk, like you're hogging her. We all kind of want time with her. They're all talking about it.
Yeah. I think it was so funny too how Guy was literally looked at Chalk and it was like, hey, no, give some of us some time. That's like the most like dad thing anyone can do, like just like, hey, buddy, I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, buddy. Like let's tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, hold your horses there.
Yes. Okay, bud.
But before this, we do see the one-on-one date.
Yes, with Keith.
So Keith gets our one-on-one date. Keith has been super anxious because it's been kind of awkward. He hasn't really spent a lot of time with her. He hasn't gone a one-on-one. He gets his one-on-one, and it's a helicopter ride, right? And
Yes.
what do you think about helicopter rides as first dates, Maryanne?
I think that helicopter rides are not great as dates because you literally cannot hear anything, like, at
Okay,
all.
have you been on? I wouldn't
No.
imagine that you could hear.
I have not been on, but I know people have been on, and, like, you can barely hear anything when you have the headphones with each other, and then, like, and you're looking outside, especially if you've never been on a helicopter, it's, like, more for the vibe. Like, I feel I'm gonna circle back. That was exactly the date that I think it's Mark should have gone on, you know? But don't have to speak. It's too loud to speak. But instead, it was with Keith, who really felt the need to go and connect with Joan, especially since he really felt, oh my goodness, I had the first impression rose and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, he's really like been quiet. We haven't heard from him since that
Yes.
first episode, and I'm like, uh-oh, I know where this is going. And then
Exactly.
once they land the noisy helicopter, they
Mm-hmm.
go to this winery, and they're
Yes.
there, and they meet with this other couple. And I know production put this up to
Evil. No, absolutely. Oh, we're 32 years, the exact amount of years that you would have been if your husband didn't pass away from pancreatic cancer. No, that was, yeah, they were kind of
literally.
evil for that.
They set her up because what do you mean? I've never really been to a winery, but you're not greeted by a couple,
No,
and this
you're
couple is
greeted by
there.
one person. One
One person, I'm
person.
assuming. And they're like, okay, yeah, we've been married for 32 years. Obviously, this makes Joan feel some type of way. She's like, she tears up and she's like, this is what,
Mm-hmm.
how long me and my husband were together. And
Mm-hmm.
I just, this is where I could have been. I could have been them. And just hearing her talk about her husband, I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
I think she's on the wrong show. I don't think she should be on the Golden Bachelorette. Sorry, Joan, but like, she's still obviously grieving and like coping with her
Yes.
feelings. I don't know if she's ready. Obviously, who am I to say?
Yeah,
Like she knows where she's
exactly.
at in her journey, but like it truly just like feels she keeps saying like I just want to be part of a couple.
Yes.
I just loved being loved and I want to be part of a couple.
Yes. Or like
I
even
don't
I
know.
think in the bowling date, she's like, I go bowl with my friends, and then after I go home alone, like I feel I want to be a part of
She
a
did mention
couple.
it.
She did. I
She
feel
said it so many times. Like
yeah.
drink she says it. You'd be drunk
Yep.
at the end of that.
Yeah, do that, add that to the Bachelorette drinking game. Yeah, I feel as if like, and for me, especially too, when she talks about her husband, the feelings are still so raw, you know? It's like, and I really feel as if it's like you want to be able to go and feel that when you're going and dating someone, you don't feel guilt. She even wasn't even her that spoke about feeling guilt about
She's
going and
still,
looking for someone. It's like, if you
yep.
still harbor that guilt, it really makes it hard to have like a true connection because you're not only thinking about this new thing, you're also thinking about, oh my goodness, like, am I bad? This is bad. Da, 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 da.
She's talked about it quite a bit, I think, about like
Mm-hmm.
processing those feelings of like, am I doing the right thing? Should I
Yep.
be here? Like,
Yep.
am I ready for this? And I don't know. I think it came up during Keith's date. Again, it came up during the bowling date, and
Yes.
it'll come up during
Yes.
Mark's date as well.
Yes.
Where it's just kind of stressful, and Keith is there and he's trying his best, but
Mm-hmm.
it's so clear that like something is off. It's still a little bit awkward for them. And I don't know. After that date, I was like, Keith, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're a goner. This is the last we'll see of you. I,
Oh, okay.
I just feel like she says the same thing for every date that goes badly.
Oh,
She's like, "Oh, I feel like we got deeper today. Like I did get to learn more about him." But she doesn't really explain if it was a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
oh my gosh, you're so right. I didn't even pick that up, America. You are so right. She does do that. Oh, we
I
know
feel
her
like
tell
she's
now. Yeah.
yeah, that's her tell. Like she's kind of like friend zoning them with like,
Mhm.
"Oh,
Mhm.
oh, or like thank you. You shared so much with me. I really got to know you on a deeper level."
Yep.
What does that mean? It means you don't get a rose. That's what that means.
Okay. Yeah, poor Keith. Poor Keith.
Poor
Breaking the
poor
streak of
Keith.
the first impression rose.
I know. They usually go pretty far, but I think also what hurt him was getting a one-on-one so late in the season.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't happen, at least for a first impression
It's
rose
true,
guy.
yeah. Usually
So
get, like, a
after
3rd
this
date. Go ahead.
no, yeah. They usually get, like, 2nd, 3rd date,
Yeah.
4th maybe, but, like, I think it's and also, it looks like this process is moving a lot faster. She's,
It
like,
is!
eliminating, like, 3, 4 guys per episode.
They're dropping like flies, you know, don't mean to be crass, but I was like, "Wait, we're at hometown on episode 6?"
I'm kinda down
No,
because we're not getting a lot of drama this
it's
season, and I'm
true.
tired of crying every episode.
It's
So,
true. It's true. I'm happy. Their pacing is great, but, like, it is, like I was like, "Oh, we're in week not even 2 months in, and we're seeing everyone's families."
yeah, that's true, and that's gonna be I'm excited for that, and
I
I
am.
cannot wait to see how I'm getting ahead of myself. Spoiler, how Pascal lives and what his
I
place is
am
like.
so intrigued about this man's life. I'm
I love him.
genuinely no, I'm so intrigued. We'll go back when we go back to the bowling, I wanna just mention Pascal. He's so funny.
He is so funny. Yeah, speaking of Pascal, so we get to the bowling date
Yep.
and immediately Joan's like, "Oh, we're gonna put on these shoes and we're gonna put on these shirts." And Pascal goes, "This isn't Gucci. This isn't
Yes!
Prada." He's so funny. And Joan mentions, like, "Oh, I knew Pascal was gonna feel some type of way when we brought up these, like, shirts for them." And he's like, "Yeah, it'll do. I've never been bowling before. Like, I've been bowling once." I love him. I think he's great.
He's so funny because Joan has this vibe of like, I'm just a regular, I want to live just my little Midwestern life. And he's like, I have a spicy taste. I love fancy cars. I love fancy clothes. I love looking good. I love friends. Okay. It's like
Yeah.
super French. And then he's like, no, but I also like you, Joan. Like it's like the epitome of opposites attract.
I I really like him. I
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I feel like he's very different like, Joan has a more of, like a softer I don't know how to
Yes.
explain it. Like, she's just, like, very gentle
Yep.
and, like, soft-spoken, and Pascal is, like, very matter of fact. Like, "This is
Yep.
what I want. This is what I like." And I think he's very good at communicating with her. When she
Yes.
voices her, like, issues with him or, like,
Mhm.
her thoughts, he's very quick to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry I made you feel this way. I just didn't want to be." He mentioned this, I think, maybe last week, where she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I feel like we didn't really talk in the group date." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't want to come off as aggressive. I wanted to give you your space. And this
Yeah.
is ultimately your choice." I love him.
We love a man who communicates. We love a man who communicates.
I don't care if he's a high maintenance. Like, at least he communicates that he's high
But
maintenance and
he knows he is, and he's very clear about it. He's like,
he's
"I communicate,
self-aware.
I'm high maintenance. I like Gucci, I like Prada, I like looking nice, okay? And I'm gonna let you know that."
I wanna be at the club with Pascal. I wanna go out with him when they play Gucci flip-flops, so I can just, like, party with him. I think it'll be so fun. He seems like such a vibe, but also on this
Yes.
group date are let's see who was here. Guy,
Yep.
he's just Guy.
Got
Um,
Jonathan was there.
Jonathan,
Jordan.
uh, Jordan, and of course, Chalk in yellow.
Yes.
Again, that's the villain now. It's
And
so
they
funny
had
because
to
I
give him
say
a villain
villain
color, yeah. He's like, "Wear the yellow so you can really pop out."
pop out. I say villain, and he's like the most harmless, like,
He really
villain
the
ever.
worst imagine that
Just
that's how you
crime.
know there's no drama. His crime is going and putting his hand not even on her, but just
Yeah.
beside her.
That's the crime, and it's so funny because you can tell, like, all the other guys like, Jonathan's trying so hard not to look. He's, like,
Yes.
straight ahead, locked in, doesn't wanna see this,
Mhm.
but like we mentioned, that's Chalk, and during this date, they do get, like, a little bit of one-on-one time,
Yes, they
um,
do.
so I know that, like, Chalk goes to her and eventually, like, they start talking and he says, I see you as a part of my future. Like, I see us being
Yes.
together. I cannot wait for that." And she's like, yeah, I see you in my future as well."
Mhm.
How? As friends? As what does this
And well,
mean,
if we know
Joan?
after the hometown, if it's like, I got to learn about Chalk a little bit more deeper,
Yeah.
we know how it is.
That's how we'll know. But we also have a moment with Jonathan. He brings
Yes, the
family
photos.
pictures.
Oh, That was so cute with with his mom, with him, with his kids. Like that was like I was like my heart went for Jonathan and being like, I love them. I love my kids. They're amazing, and I know that they're going to love you. Ah,
He's tearing up. Like, it's so cute. And I'm not gonna lie, when he took out like his mom's ID cards, I'm like, why? I was like, why is he bringing his mom's driver's license? But then I was like, maybe these are the only photos he has of her, or like
yeah,
the clearest photos, maybe. Like,
exactly.
like older photos will sort of
Y-
like fade
Yep.
over
hmm
time. But I thought it was super cute. He clearly cares about his kids. And
Yeah.
oh, I thought he was in it for the long run. I thought
No,
he was my winner
I
pick.
I was shocked. I was like, wait. I'm like, Joan, you mixed up your J's. You said Jordan instead of Jonathan. Whoops, Joan. Don't worry. They can just retape it. Wait, what do you mean they're not retaping it? Like, girl, are you okay? I was shocked because I really thought it was going to be Jonathan and not Jordan.
It's so weird because we glossed over Jordan this entire date.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel like we had a super quick one-on-one last week with him, or 2 weeks ago, I think, with
Yeah.
him. We don't really know much about Jordan. We don't know much about Guy. So spoilers, we've been talking about this, but yeah, Jordan and Guy make it through.
Yeah.
Keith and Chuck, and
Yes.
no, Keith and sorry, Jonathan
Keith and
don't.
Jonathan do not.
It is so weird. Like the edit, I don't know who's in
They're
the editing
they
room,
brought
but
they
they're
hired someone
evil.
from Survivor. They hired someone from Survivor, and they're like, "Wait, we know how to." And they're like, "What do you mean you're editing this? No, no, no. We should edit like this. It's going to be a blindside to the audience. That's how you get viewers."
Because they don't do this ever. Like,
No.
I know who the top 4 are gonna be
Yes.
from the very first episode.
Yes.
The fact that we got so much screen time from Keith in that first episode, and Chalk, and
Yes.
like it,
Yes.
and even Jack, who was the chef, the one that
Mhm.
kept going into
Mhm.
the pool, jumping into the pool.
I'm saying
Uh,
you crown Jonathan as your prom king, as your, you made me feel seen, you made me feel like this, and then you're just gonna cut him off?
exactly. Like, he's been, I mean, other than like, I guess like Charles L. and like I
Yeah.
know Pascal has been very prominent in the episodes. Jonathan
Yes.
has been up there, and they had a
Yes.
really good one-on-one riding horses and like opening up to each other. I
Yes.
was so convinced that he was going to make it through. I'm wondering, okay, now that we know who the final 4 are, we got a little bit ahead, but who
Yep.
cares? Who is your Golden Bachelor pick?
Oh
I
my
would
god.
think it'd be because it's just like so many people went home that I would think would be good
Yeah.
candidates for that. Like Jonathan would be like prime
No,
Golden
l
Bachelor
like,
material.
I feel as if the only person that we have in this final 4 that I'm like, "Oh my goodness, is Chalk." I just feel like with this final 4 looking, I'm like, I don't see how it could be anyone
For
but
Golden
Chalk.
Bachelor?
For
Oh, or
for
for the
Golden
win.
Bachelor! I thought you meant the final one. For Golden Bachelor?
I might have misspoken, but like,
Okay.
yeah, for
Oh, you think who's gonna be the Golden Bachelor the next season? I
yeah,
misunderstood. Okay. You
might
see?
have been.
I'm just like, if there was a normal episode, I would have said Jonathan with a heartbeat. But the way that Mark went out, that is the Golden Bachelor send off, okay? Like with the
Yeah.
hummingbird and the story, and you get that final one-on-one. Then Joan doesn't do it in the rose ceremony. She pulls you aside, and he looked like an icon. She's like, I just don't see us. And he's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna fight. I completely understand and respect your decision. I'm so happy you made me love. My kids are gonna see that I have been smiling and happy again. Like they, especially because Mark, the way that Mark entered too, because Mark was entered with what, like, because he was in the first
Kelsey,
season.
his
Kelsey,
daughter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and entered in and walked in and everything. He was already America's little sweetheart. We already loved him. No, they are setting this. I don't see, like, in a normal episode it would have been Jonathan, but because of how that was, unless Mark declines, I don't see how it's anyone but Mark.
You're so right. You've convinced me. And also it's funny because when the season first started, I'm like, Mark is gonna be at the final 6,
Yep.
and he's gonna get kicked off, and he's gonna be our next Golden Bachelor.
There you
But
go.
it's just been so weird, like meeting all these great men, and I'm like, oh, anybody
Yes.
can be the Golden Bachelor, or you know what? Let's do a Golden Bachelor in Paradise,
I'm telling
something like
you.
that.
Yes, we need a batch. And because I'm just like, I need that. And the reason why I need that is because every single one of them deserve love. when you do a bachelor or bachelorette, only one person ends up happy. I need multiple couples to come out of this, okay? Just relaxing on the beach, like just hustling around, maybe doing a little bit of like going on a yacht, movements. I want to see. I want to see. Is Miles still the
Movement? You
bartender?
want to see movement?
Aquafit. I want to see Aquafit. Yeah.
I think you're right. And I want to see it too. I think it would be fun too because they've got to like explore their options maybe a little bit more. Like
Yes.
we've seen when there's like one bachelor, one bachelorette, sometimes they just don't click.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. You know, they're looking for different things, but I would like to see it. Anything else about this bowling date? So we talked about Chalk being so desperate, so clingy. We talked about Jonathan's pictures. Jordan, they completely skipped over
Yes.
him. And then
That's
we
why
have
I thought he
Guy.
was dead in the water. That's why,
He, you know
like,
what? I love Jordan, but where was he this date? It was so
he was
weird.
there. I kept on. I was like, wait, is he here? Wait, who's he? That's what? Oh yeah, Jordan.
So we have a Guy moment. So Guy was the
Yes.
guy, LOL. Guy was the guy who was like, "Hey, Chalk, buddy, he's up there. Like, we all need
Yeah.
time with her." When he finally gets time with Joan, he starts tearing up and he's like, "Oh my God, this is the happiest that I've been in years." And I'm so confused because we've rarely had any Guy Joan moments at all where I'm like, am I being duped? Like, what is going on? What is this man just delusional, or have they had like really sweet, like, you know, moments, like intense moments that we just haven't seen on camera? I thought it was sort of weird because I'm like, Guy, calm down. Like, why are you crying?
It's
You're in a
true.
bowling alley.
It's true. He really just felt like a guy who was here. Literally, Guy was the guy who was here, having fun, relaxing, meeting some new friends, like, and then, going to be cut in this moment. Then suddenly he's had the strongest connection, that he's felt joy that he's never felt before since his marriage ended, and is now the happiest man alive because of her in a bowling alley.
It's weird. And now that I'm thinking about it, he has had his moments. You know, he was there for Charles L. He is the doctor, the ER doctor.
Yes.
So he was there for Charles L. when Charles L. had questions about his wife's health.
Yes.
And yeah. And then he was there for Ken during the Mansion Men song. Is this a winner's edit? Is this
Like, he feels like he's a guy's guy. Guys here for it doesn't feel like a winner's edit. It feels like he's a guy's guy, which makes it even more baffling. Like, I don't think it's a winner's edit. It's a, what the hell is going on? I thought he was going to be dead because this man has always been for the guys, and he's still here.
who is this guy? Like,
Who is
what's
this
his
man?
deal?
Who is
Yeah,
this
I was
man?
just literally thrown off because he was just like so emotional, and like he was talking to the guys about this too. Like, I'm completely a different person. This is,
Yes.
I'm like, I haven't even seen y'all interact ever. Their one-on-one date was a cooking date, and I think that was kind of lame. But yeah, that was pretty much it to the bowling date. It was cute. I hate going bowling. I've gone with Corey a couple of times, and he's good.
What?
He's so good. And my little wrist. So
Oh.
I heard I'm learning bowling from watching The Bachelorette because at
No.
one point, I think Joan or one of the guys goes like, "Oh, keep your wrist straight."
Yeah,
And I was like,
no,
"Oh,
you have to, it's in like the forearm and the shoulder. It's not in the wrist.
okay, I think that's what I've been doing wrong." And I'm like, look at me, like,
Mm-hmm.
getting bowling tips from The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Because whenever I go, first off, I need like the baby ball
Yep.
because my wrists just can't. So I do the 5-pound ball and I'm so bad at it. And Corey will be good. And after a while, he's like ahead of me by like dozens and dozens of points. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not having fun. Let's go home. Like,
Yeah.
this is
No. This is how you bowl. You got to have that straight wrist. And then when you're going and you throw it, you want to make sure that when you release your hand is straight. Because if your hand is to the left or to the right, the ball's going to go to the left or to the right. So you want your hand as straight as possible.
oh my God, you're a pro.
I'm not a pro. I've just played a lot of Wii Fit bowling. Like Wii
But
Sports. Okay. Wii Sports taught me exactly how to bowl.
That's actually so funny. So you're a newlywed.
Yes, I am.
What dates do y'all go on? What's that like?
Oh
No
my
bowling.
goodness.
So
We go bowling.
okay, you do
Um,
okay.
we do a lot of movie nights. I think it's just fun, but we
I
do
love
them,
movie
but
nights.
we love in-house movie nights so I can talk through the whole movie. You
Yeah.
know, because when I'm in the theater, I am respectable. I won't talk in the theater, but I do love
So
to chat.
demure.
I'm so
Yeah.
mindful. Oh my goodness. What other dates? I'm trying to think of like fun, different dates that we've done. You know, sometimes like we'll go to museums. I do love a good museum. It's really
Oh,
fun. Just like if the classic restaurant going out. You can't go wrong with that. It's a good time to chat, hang out. But I think everything else is like kind of typical, you know, or we'll do trips. Like for example, going to Calgary with my husband, and that's like a real life lifetime date at that moment.
a what? A lifetime date?
Yeah, because it's like you're traveling together and then you're driving together, going back, exploring a new town together. So like that whole experience is like a multi-day date.
It is. That's super cute. And I think I love doing movies at home. Like just sitting in and
Yes.
watching a movie is like my favorite thing ever because you can pause the movie, you can rewind the movie.
Ooh. You can put captions on the movie.
Captions. I
Captions.
can be on my phone, while we're playing the movie. I'm sorry, I just, like, cannot get off my phone. Corey gets so mad at
Okay.
me because 'cause we're
Okay.
watching, like, his movies or his shows, and I'm just on my phone, and I'm like, "Wait, wait, can we rewind?" He gets so mad
No.
about
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
I'm with Corey on that. I'm with Corey on that. No, we do movies, and then but the funny thing is, like, we'll watch the movie at home, but we will still go to the movie theater because I want, like, quality movie theater popcorn. But
yeah.
the funny thing is
Wait,
yeah, what?
so do you go to the movies for the popcorn?
Yes. We go drive to the theater, then they go try to take our tickets, and I'm like, "I'm just here for popcorn." They let us in, we buy popcorn, then we drive back home, and then watch the movie.
Wait, that's actually the weirdest thing ever. I've
It's
never
not weird. It's movie theater popcorn's the best part of movie theaters, and in Canada, we use real butter on our popcorn, so it's really, really good.
Okay, that makes a huge difference actually because Corey likes buttered popcorn and I
Yep.
used to.
Uh-huh.
And then I turned, 10 and I stopped liking
Hey,
it.
hey,
But
hey, 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 hold up, hold up. No.
but so now we do light butter, but that is actually so funny. Do you get any like candies and stuff there too? Does
Oh,
it
no, that's such a markup. We go to Walmart. So we go to
Okay.
Walmart and get our candies, and we'll get like if we're doing soft drinks, we'll get our soft drinks. Then after that, we'll go to like the movie theaters, get the movie theater popcorn. But we don't go too many times because movie theater popcorn is expensive. Then we'll drive back, we'll assemble everything, turn off the lights, and then watch the movie. We recently watched our most recent movie last Friday was Zoolander. And that
Have you seen it before?
no,
Have
I
either of
had
y'all?
not. He had
Oh,
seen it. I had not. I was like, because I was like, oh, it's this movie. I'm so sorry. You're gonna want to skip around the next 2 minutes if you have not watched Zoolander. There will be Zoolander spoilers. And like I knew it was like about a movie about like a fashionista, like and like two and I thought it was like two competing like models or whatever. And then it's about like like what was it? Was it Thailand or Malaysia?
oh,
It
yeah,
was
no, well, the first like 2 minutes when they have the
yes.
wake me up before the gas station
The
scene.
gasoline scene? Right, like, what I was like, "What's going on?" Or how every single line he finishes with like a smize, like a like, you know? Or
Blue
how, like,
Steel,
yeah,
I
the
yeah.
blue steel, or every single or, like, how Will Ferrell in the end, it was like, "It's just the same guys, wake up." Or the story or how, like, what the love interest was like, "God, like, I just hated models and they made me become bulimic," and they're like, "What do you" and they're like, "What do you mean? I throw up all the time
Oh,
to
wait,
lose weight."
wait, is this the one is there a no, I might be thinking of the wrong movie where there's, like, a threesome scene? No, I don't
No, not a threesome, an orgy. An
Oh,
orgy, America, an orgy.
okay, wait, I do sort of remember it now.
No, I
Uh,
was like, "What is this movie? What's going on?" And the funny thing is this is the same Ben Stiller that directs Severance. He directed Zoolander, then went on to go and make Severance.
I love Ben Stiller.
Oh, yeah.
I like any of his stuff. Also, I haven't seen Severance. It's on my list. I heard it's so
Okay,
good.
it's so good.
There's only, like, 2 seasons too, right? So it's
Yeah,
something that you can
so the
catch up
first
with
season
quickly.
and the second season isn't out yet, and I think it's starting out, like, next year, so you're good. Oh, by the way, the Zoolander spoilers are done, so you can now go and stop skipping.
Yeah. Now onto Zoolander 2. No.
Oh, I have not seen that one, so I'll skip it as well too.
No. So yeah, you have to watch 2. I thought it was funny. A
Okay.
lot of people don't like it.
Okay.
It's cute, but literally anything Ben Stiller does, I'm like, it is so funny. Corey and I have watched. First off, Zoolander, I think was one of the first movies we saw together because I was like, you have to watch this
Oh,
movie. The fun thing
okay.
about watching movies with Corey is that
Yeah.
he hasn't seen anything.
He was too busy
So
debating.
yeah, exactly. Like he's literally like, I'll ask him about a movie. He's like, I have no idea what this is.
Oh
So
my
we just
gosh.
watched Beetlejuice, the OG Beetlejuice, because I was like, we have to watch
Beetlejuice?
it. Exactly. I was like, for spooky season. Or like, do you know like
Yes.
Hocus Pocus?
Okay, I haven't seen Hocus Pocus.
Oh, what? Oh my,
I just
you have to
okay, in
it's
my
the
defense,
season.
no. In my defense, okay, my parents are super Christian and like witchcraft was not allowed in our
So
household, okay?
no Harry Potter, like
No
that
Harry
sort of thing.
Potter.
Okay.
They actually didn't even want me to like read Twilight because like vampires, like none of that. So in my defense, so I have to now go back as a grown adult with no nostalgia and watch it.
It's tough without. I think nostalgia has a lot to do with it. When I'm watching Halloween Town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh, I did Halloween Town because I
oh,
watched all of them behind my
in
parents' back.
secret, or yeah, I was gonna
Behind my
say, like,
parents'
how'd you
back.
get away?
I learned what the parental control codes were, okay, at that time, but for Hocus Pocus, I didn't know it. So I love Halloween Town. I've watched all 4, even the recast one.
I like the recast one.
I
I'm fine with it.
do. I do.
It's
They
not the
shouldn't have
same.
recast her.
Yeah, that was weird. But
Yeah.
I have to show Corey all the Halloween Towns. We're gonna
Yes.
go to the movies and watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh, I
That's a
have
big
not
one that
seen
I'm
that
like,
one. That's because I never know when to watch it. Do I watch it on Halloween or do I watch it on Christmas?
both, both.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for
Corey asked
both.
me the same question yesterday, and I was like, "We watch it both times. Are you kidding me?" Like, so I've been showing him like a lot of new movies and stuff, and
Yep.
that's probably what we like to do too. But I guess we'll try out the movie theater popcorn thing next time.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure. With America, like a lot of places don't have real butter. You have that oil that's flavored as butter that makes me
They,
sick.
they, yeah, they don't have the real butter here for sure, but we do have like the refillable like popcorn bucket, so it's not as expensive for us.
Okay.
So we could just walk in and get it for like $4 instead of
Okay.
20.
20.
It's like, isn't it like 20? I don't know. Corey usually buys it. I don't know how much.
Okay. 20's a lot. If you're getting popcorn for $20, that's a lot.
It's a banana, Michael. How much can it be? Like $20?
$12. Oh, 12. Yeah.
Is it 12 or 20? You might know.
I couldn't know. I would not know.
Okay, so now let's get started with the Arrested Development spoilers. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. I don't know any. I've only watched the
Oh,
first 2 episodes.
but you know the quote.
I
Okay.
do.
So back to Bachelor,
Yes.
Bachelorette. We mentioned Mark earlier. Mark
Mhm.
does get finally his one-on-one. Oh my God.
Yes.
Here he is. Mark, what a hottie. He's such a nice, kind man. We see a lot of him actually. I was gonna say
We
we haven't
do.
seen a lot. We actually do.
We do.
We check in with him every now and then, and he's like talking to Kelsey, talking to
Mhm.
Joey. Obviously, he's a
Mhm.
big character, like you mentioned. He was the it guy of the season. Sorry, guy, but he was like that man. And he's been worried. He's been stressed because he's like, I haven't gotten this time with her.
Yep.
But he goes outside. He's like debating, he's like wondering if he's doing the right thing. And he sees a hummingbird
Oh.
and he starts crying. He goes to the men and he's like, he tells them a story about, when his wife was with him, she would like extend her arm out and the hummingbird would come and just like, sit on
Mhm.
her palm. And he's like crying, like, that's a sign. That's her. This is a sign that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I finally feel good. I feel prepared enough. I'm more prepared than ever to go on this
Yes.
date.
Yep.
And I'm like, uh-oh. That's not good. They can't trick me. I literally wrote down in my notes, like, like, this is the end for Mark. This is it.
Yep. Yeah. He was like, I'm so ready. Then we cut to he goes on this beautiful yacht. It's wonderful. And then silence.
Crickets. It's so
Like
awkward.
it was so bad because she kept on trying to pick up the conversation and he was not like Joan was dropping hints and he was not picking up. He said like the view's great. This is nice.
She's like, oh, how's your drink? Are you done with your drink yet? Like she's trying to get him drunk, so maybe he'll like get loose with her. But
yes, it's a little sweet. I think that's what he said, right? Am I making that up?
Yeah.
Like
No,
He just one-word sentences. It's quiet. They're just sitting there doing nothing. Okay, they have to get the sailor had to come in on behalf of Jesse to give them a little scavenger hunt so that they would have a conversation. I bet you they went on lockdown and changed the whole boat just to make sure that this date would happen, because they're like, she's not giving out roses. We can't just ditch him here. He has to go back. He has to go back.
Yeah, so they're like, wait, cut, ice, please.
Ice.
Literally, because there's no way the sailor comes or whatever, the deckhand, and he's like, oh, this is from Jesse. And it's so funny to think that Jesse's like back there in the writing room, like
furiously scrolling down, being like, we need to fix this. We need to fix this now.
So they like come up with this scavenger hunt for them, so obviously to like help the conversation. Because they didn't have a scavenger hunt during like Guy's cooking date.
No.
Or Keith's like, winery experience. Like, that's not a thing. They're on a yacht. They should be talking, enjoying the food, enjoying the drinks. Instead, Mark, like, love you, Mark, but he is just so boring the entire time. And it's so weird to see. It's like, so vibes are bad.
Yeah, the vibes were not there. At that point, I was like, oh, he's not. And then but then he really, though, started to open up a bit. And then they had conversations about moving on from their partners that passed away. And then when he shared the story about the hummingbird, oh my goodness, that I was literally almost crying. Like, I was watching the episode like in a public place, and I was genuinely like tearing up, because that was just so beautiful. And I know especially Joan needed to hear that as well, especially because like she's still like having that internal struggle with, is this okay that I'm doing this? Is it okay that I'm moving on from my husband? I want it, and she even was like, I want to hear from my husband again. I want to hear from my husband. And so this was like that moment where she really wanted that moment with Mark, and connected and got to learn about him a little deeper.
Dun. We know what that means. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird because we see the confessionals from Mark being like, I'm ecstatic. Like, this is what I needed. This date went great. And we actually hear Joan say like, oh, we bonded over the death of our spouses, but there's still something missing.
That was so bad. And then he walked back into the villa. It's not called the villa. Like, yes. And then he's like, yes. Everyone thought he was going to hometowns because of how he talked about that date. They were all like, okay, so there's three roses left.
There's three left. They're like, Mark came in here. He said he killed it. Like, he said he felt so good. Uh-huh. And I felt so bad because in the back of my mind, we know what's happening. We saw the preview at the beginning when Joan asks to pull you aside before a rose ceremony. It's not. You're done. You're done. It's never a good thing. So Joan comes. Yeah, and that's my face too, because she's just looking at him and it's coming, and she's like giving him all these compliments, like, you are an amazing man, you're great, your kids are great, but the but is coming. She says that she feels like she didn't see herself in his conversations and his future. And what did you think about this, Maryanne? Because
you see, I was like, okay, classic breakup. But then she said something about, I feel as if you're not ready right now for me, especially with the journey. And I'm like, pot? Pedal? What? What's going on here? Because there's something not right. Because I'm like, I feel as if like those two are kind of in the same path right now, where they're just, it's like I'm finally now ready to go and start this journey, but there's still a lot of grief that is raw in the moment that I'm going to share, And I feel as if the reason why she didn't connect with Mark was that it kind of was a call out, because she was like, and I might be a little spicy, because she was like, oh, Mark clearly it needs to do some moving on. And then she's like, wait, do I need to do some moving on? No, I think Mark's the problem.
Yeah, what? Like, she's been, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know what she's thinking. She literally says, I just think I came into this a little too early for you. And I need someone who is as far along in their journey as I am. And I'm like, you're at the same place, Joan. Like, you're not over your husband's, death
Yes.
either. Like, guys are exactly in the same place. You're coping, you're processing these feelings. I just feel like it was such a cop out. And I'm like, what is she
Exactly.
talking about? Like, say that you guys, like, I guess she couldn't find a nice way of saying our conversations suck. Like,
Yes.
she's probably too nice for that. But like, to blame it on like, oh, you're not ready was sort of weird.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
like
I
that.
also think it's weird to tell someone else that they are not ready if you are not a trusted person in the person's life, you know? It's like it's like that, like let someone else go and have that conversation. I think like he talked to his daughters and talked to people close to him, and they felt as if he was okay and ready. And if he wasn't, that's
It
not a
felt like
that's
he was
not
ready.
it felt like he was ready. It felt that the emotions were still raw, and it's like, but I didn't feel like he was like comparing his wife to Joan every single time and being like, my wife this, my wife that. That's not what I got. It felt like my wife passed away. I'm still feeling raw about this. I still love and care for her, but I know that like I'm ready to move on, and I want to have someone who respects and honors that I will love my wife still, but I am also able to love you as well.
That is exactly what the conversation was.
Yep.
Literally, like, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Like, that hummingbird was a sign, and it's like I've
Yes.
had this clarity,
Yes.
and she just didn't listen to him. She
No.
wasn't listening.
And it was so sad because at least for me, I really saw a tangible shift in like the energy that Mark was giving out after seeing that hummingbird. It was truly night and day. It felt like there was something that was lifted off of his back, like that burden that he had. Because it was, and like now knowing that he was struggling with that the whole time he was there, it was so clear to me because he genuinely felt lighter in spirits, you know? And I think like he just is an awkward guy when it comes to conversations. Like some people just can't hold conversations and it's okay, right? But I genuinely feel as if like he was having a lot of fun. He was having great time. Like when he said this is like the happiest I've been since coming to California, he meant that. That was so sweet. And that's why I think they're going to set him up as the next Bachelor or Golden Bachelor.
They are. No, 100%. You mentioned it earlier where it's
Yep.
like they're giving him this is like his pilot episode.
Yes.
They're clipping clips from this
Yes.
episode to put in the intro in the first episode of the Golden Bachelor next season.
I can already hear it. I was ready for love, but she wasn't ready for me. But now I'm ready to go and find someone who I can share that love with.
And then clip to like a video of a hummingbird.
Yes.
Just like
No. You know the powers that be production are evil. They're gonna go and like Google. They're gonna Google what do hummingbirds like? What do hummingbirds do? They're gonna go and then they're gonna like introduce them to the ecosystem so that there's multiple hummingbirds. They're gonna have production like put like sewn in their clothes like hummingbird feed just so that they're all flying around.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so funny. And I believe it. I'm sold. Like that's our next Golden Bachelor. And I'm not even mad because he seems great. And I was so sad to see him go and all the guys being like crying. Like Pascal was like, that's my best friend.
They were devastated. Pascal has not had a good time. His friends are dropping like all of his friends left from like the last rose ceremony, and then now Mark left. Like they were all
he's been having to do his own laundry for a couple of weeks now. Like
life is hard for Pascal, but that was so like the guys genuinely love Mark. Everybody loved Mark. Right? The only person who was semi-happy was Chalk, because Chalk's like, I want all these people to leave. And like he was
wait, let's go back. Because the moment Mark came in and he's like, I'm leaving, Chalk immediately like got up and his ears like perked up and he's like, oh, you're leaving? Like you could tell he was so happy about it.
So happy. He was like, oh, you're leaving? That's so sad. Oh no. This man was so happy. Everyone was devastated, but he was so happy.
Chalk is like, yes, let's go.
Another one bites the dust.
And Joan, we get the I love you mark that we heard in the trailer at the very beginning. It was just as friends.
They always do that. America, I don't know how
they got me
fooled. Come on.
I was fooled.
Bring her home. Okay.
Look, if I learned anything from Big Brother is that I'm super gullible. So it makes sense, you know, in and outside of the house. It's just like I believed it. I ate the edit up. And
No.
I will I'll give Joan a pass because she looked so good in this dress.
She slayed. She slayed
Loved
with
it
that.
so much.
It
And I
was
hadn't even
so
noticed that there's
good.
like lace in the
Mm-hmm.
bottom, at the bottom. It's not just all like this latex vibe, but she looks so good. She's only passing out 4 roses. OMG. And at this point, I'm on my phone. I'm like, oh, I know who it's going to be.
I
It's
was
going to
literally
be
like, yep.
Jonathan,
Uh-huh.
Chalk,
Yep.
Keith,
Yep.
and I don't know,
I thought
maybe
Pascal.
Guy. Oh,
Oh, you
Pascal.
thought
Hello.
Guy?
I forgot Pascal.
I thought it was gonna be Pascal. Like I thought
No,
Pascal. I was like
I thought
Pascal. I think
Pascal
was
too.
gonna be cut next week after the hometowns. That's what it felt like. But
And
lo and behold,
these what happened? These are the final 4 men. So she calls up Pascal first. And
yep,
then we have Chalk. Hello. Yeah,
yep,
obvious.
yeah,
And then Guy. And that started getting weird when I'm
yeah.
like,
I was
Guy.
like, Guy. I was like, I guess Keith is dying, and then it's Guy and
Yep. I'm like,
Jonathan.
oh, Keith is gone. That's it for
Yeah,
Keith. That makes
yeah.
sense. And then she says, Jordan.
Like I was gag gooped and gollied. Jordan, he literally didn't exist this episode. This man did not. He was non-existent. Like that's what the editors love to do. They love to go. They love when they're about to go vote someone out who's semi-liked. They fade them into the distance, so we forget about them in the episode, and then they're gone. And that's. But no, they just kept this. I don't even know. Like, does he have kids? Does he not have kids? Who knows?
They did this last season too. For anybody that watched Jen's season last season, Jeremy, he was a final 3. We had no idea who he was, or final 4, I think. He was a final 4.
Yeah.
And we had no idea who he was. He got like a grocery store date for his one-on-one or for his hometown, I think. But it's just so weird, and it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, how dare they? Because no, we don't really know much about any of these guys.
Yeah, and they clearly have a connection because they're in the final 4.
Well, because they're crying about it. But like, this is the final. So we have Chalk, Guy, Jordan, Pascal, Jonathan, Keith, and Mark were dumped this episode, which is insane.
Jonathan robbed the thing. Jonathan was robbed. Jonathan was robbed, man.
I think so too. And I hope we'll see more of him somehow, if not in the Golden Bachelor, then in some other Bachelor Nation franchise. I'm sure they'll like bring some of these guys back to like host competitions and stuff.
Yes.
They like doing that for Bachelorette seasons. But I think it's so weird because I'm like, okay, Chalk's turning into a little bit of a villain here.
Yep.
Is he going to be too much for Joan?
Like,
do you think it's fine? She's eating it up? Like what?
I think that it was a villain to the guys, but like he was saying the attention. I think that it's okay. Like, I think that he needs to just ease off the brakes just a little bit. Be like, I made it to hometowns. I'm so happy. I can't wait to show you my life and how we can be together in our life and how we will make this life work together. Like, not just like this is your home now.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to slow down. I think he's only going to speed up. Can you imagine Chalk if he makes it through hometowns and goes to like fantasy suites? He is not going to take it well that it's going to be him and 2 other guys.
I know. Yep. And that's actually why, circling back now to Pilot Pete's season, I think we have to go and complain about how they changed it because Maddie Prue was like very clearly abstinent before marriage, and now all the fantasy suiters had to stay in the same house. Worse, like that's just like
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they did it just because Maddie Prue did it because they wanted all these little girls coming back to the house, all little looking disheveled after the night, that little walk of shame, so Maddie can watch it happen every single night.
Off,
makeup's off. So, and now they just are like, oh, let's keep this for the drama. I'm like, it's not that deep. You guys are traumatizing everyone just for funsies.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they like to do. I don't know, actually. My memory is awful. If they did this last season, I think they might have kept them in separate hotel rooms last season.
You see, because I followed, so I wouldn't know if they kept them in hotels. I just know what happened and everything.
Again, I might be talking on my ass and like none of it might be true, but I really hope they don't do it to these men because like, come on, like these are grown men.
Adults. They're full-grown adults. We don't need to be doing things that we do for people who don't have fully developed prefrontal cortexes, okay? Like, they're adults. They have lives. They've had previous marriages, previous wives, right? Like they don't need to go and like stay in the same. They've been staying in the same house. You gave them roommates for goodness sakes, okay? Like they could like give them some sort
Bunk
of dignity at
beds.
this point. Bunk beds. It's like but every time it baffles me. Bunk beds in that age, like falls are a concern, people.
Exactly. So for hometowns, we have Chalk is from Kansas.
Yes.
Guy is from Nevada.
Yep.
Jordan and Pascal both live in Chicago.
Okay.
So 2 for 1, producer
And then
said.
where's
They
Joan
probably were
from?
Jonesy are like, hey, we'll save some, we'll save some money on flights. If
That's exactly why Jordan's here. That's why Jordan's here.
That's why Jonathan left.
No, exactly. No, they're gonna want to make it so that after they suddenly cross over with someone, and then it's gonna be a pilot pieces. Remember how like with Victoria Fuller, how someone random was like went and said she's a homewrecker, she's all of this. That's the drama that they want. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Somebody came in, right?
Yeah, someone came in and was like, no, like she's a homewrecker, don't trust her. Da, 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 da.
Oh my God. You might be onto something.
So now one of the people, they're gonna be like, wait.
Look, I'm dying for it because I need some drama. I feel like the season has been lacking. Yeah, it's great. The guys are good and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, if the most like drama I'm getting is Jack, jumping into the pool and Chalk like hogging up Joan's
so
time during a bowling date, then this is a sad season. I need more. I want more drama.
I'm against you. For the Golden, I'm fine with no drama, okay? Because I'm like, you don't remember how we felt betrayed by Gary? Because it turned out he was just like every single bachelor, a little playboy. We all felt betrayed, especially after they had that televised wedding. I don't want drama. I go for Golden Bachelor. I go for love, okay? I can get my drama from the regular Bachelor, the regular Bachelorette, from Paradise, but I'm expecting love. I want to see old people fall in love and have a glorious 15 to 20 years together. That's what I'm here for. Okay?
You're giving them a time drama. You're like, clock's ticking. This is all you got. 15, 20 years. It's so funny because I'm like, I don't know. I like the drama. Did you watch Golden Bachelor last year?
Yes.
Kathy going like, Teresa, zip it.
Yes.
Like that was like just so iconic and like the phrase of the season. I feel like we haven't gotten that this season much.
That's true.
But I don't know. We'll see right now. I guess my winner pick is Chalk, right?
Same. That's why I think Chalk is gonna ease off the gas because he's so off. Like I don't know who the hell Jordan is. Guy is a guy's guy. Pascal, I feel as if Pascal was here to be cut at the 4. Like
I feel like Joan might think he's a little bit too different. Like their lifestyles are a little bit too different.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't see how it's anyone but Chalk at this point. And then I also don't see it Joan going for someone who's super controlling, which is why I think he'll ease off. Unless like Guy's gonna go and make like another big, we're gonna have Guy's big moment, and he's gonna be so wonderful, have wonderful kids, wonderful life, wonderful everything. And I just don't see that happening. Or maybe Jordan will show up again. Who knows?
We're gonna get duped again. I really hope so. I like being blindsided. I think this is different for The Bachelor, and I'm kind of into it. As long as it's not myself getting blindsided IRL, like this is good. I'll take it. But you seem like, so you're mentioning Victoria Fuller, pilot Pete season. What other reality TV do you watch? Bachelor Nation. You mentioned Big Brother earlier because I know like we talked. I did not know you watched Big Brother before.
I started Big Brother before I started Survivor, okay? And, guessing with the trend, as you know, I always start just watching the worst seasons ever. So take a guess about what was my first season of Big Brother. Just take a guess.
Oh, it was 15.
It was 15. Yes, my first season of Big Brother was the season.
And after that, you said, "Yeah, this is good. Let me keep this going."
I did take season 16 off. I took season 16 off. Then I came back to 17, which was a little bit better. Yes,
come back.
I will always. Okay, I had a Johnny Mac prayer circle for All Stars people. I was obsessed with Johnny Mac. I love the guy.
I was a Johnny Mac girly. When I was going back and deleting tweets before going into the house,
as one does.
it was like, yeah, as one does. I was like Johnny Mac, BB7, like Johnny Mac Hearts, BB7. Like I'm a full ass adult at this point. I'm like 20. I think I'm 24. Like, you know, I'm old. I'm
No, you're
grown,
not
and I'm
old
like,
because you're what? You're born 96, right?
so when was 17? I thought
I
17
was
was like
17. I was
2017.
no, 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 no. I was 17 when 17 was out. And if you're born in 96, that means you were 19. So that's still allowed. You don't have a pre
I'm not. I'm 95, so
95.
I
Okay,
was
so you're at
20.
20. That's still allowed. That's still allowed. Because some of the things that I tweeted at Big Brother 20 when I was tweeted, I literally did it was my most viral tweet at the time. I tweeted, and I
Because
remember this.
then Twitter was big because it would pop up on the
Yes,
screen.
it would pop up
Remember,
on the
like,
screen. Yeah, I remember tweeting, "Haley looks a little bit familiar," and then it was a picture of Haley side by side with Aaron from season 15 because they're both from Texas A&M. They both looked like little blonde belle beauties, and then people thought I was wild for making that tweet.
wait, who's Haley?
Haley was remember Faute?
Oh, wait, you're talking about BB20?
Yes. Now I'm talking about BB20. And so,
Okay.
because I was saying about the things that I tweeted when I was 20. So you tweeting about that with
Oh,
Johnny
okay.
Mac is totally allowed.
You said Haley and Aaron looked.
I did. They're
Poor
both.
Haley.
I know, poor Haley. It's because they're both from Texas A&M. They were both around the
A&M.
same age when they played. Like, go
Yeah.
Aggies. So I was like, oh, they just found their the archetype, and they're just casting her constantly.
Yeah, I mean that's a classic. The A&M girlies.
They love Texas A&M. Okay, Cliff was from Texas A&M.
Mackenzie MJ this season.
MJ is from Texas A&M. They probably like Jesse Tannenbaum. Love you, Jesse Tannenbaum. But he probably flies out like in January, walks around campus looking for someone who he thinks will play a good Big Brother game.
Literally, because it's just there's always like one every season, which is like so weird. But I started watching Survivor your season. Yours was the first season of Survivor I ever watched. So it was so funny when no, literally, like, and I loved it so much because I'm not even kidding, like, I'm not lying to you. I was rooting for you from day one.
Yay!
And I was like so I was so ready to be let down like any episode that it looked like you were in danger because I was like I know Big Brother and I was like my faves never make it this far. And so when you ended up winning that season and then I was like, oh my God, this never happens on Big Brother. Let me stick to this show. This is cool, right? Yeah. And then Taylor Hale won that same summer. I was on cloud 9. I was like, oh my God, untouchable. But it was so great to see you. And when Corey was mentioning his brother, I was like, who? I was like, Zach. I was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know if he mentioned you, but he might have said, I think it took me a while.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, wait. Yeah. Maryanne mentions her crush. It was that guy, right? He's like, yes. So it was like linked to you always. So and that's funny. How I was able to find out who Zach was.
No, because he mentioned me a couple times. Because he would be like, because for people who knew Survivor but didn't know Zach, he would be like, "Oh yeah, you know Maryanne? Oh, that's my Zach is my
yeah." He might have said that.
Then he'd give a random identifier. Then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, Maryanne sucks at Mario Party, by the way." Like he'd just say like, I'd be like, "Why am I being added at this?" Number one, I do not suck at Mario Party. And just when I play with Zach, he always just goes and attacks me for no reason. When I gave him relevant, I keep it relevant, okay? I keep it relevant. So I'm like, why am I getting so like I would literally go and wake up and then I would like my mentions would be busted like you know Big Brother season. I'm like, why am I getting mentioned like at 3 a.m. on a random Tuesday? And it's because like Corey's out here saying that I'm bad at Mario.
Your name.
Exactly, slandering my name. I want it on the record that I am good at Mario Party. Corey, once you listen to this, because I know you're going to support America, I'm going to go. Mario Party Jamboree releases on the 17th of October. It's already released. I'll go and curb stomp you. Get ready for it.
Wait, we have to play. Do you play Mario Kart? Me and Corey play every day.
I do. I'm good at Mario Kart.
Do you still play with your me?
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. I play with my me because I'm the best. And so I have to play as the best. And that's me.
Okay, so I'll see you on the whatever date the Jamboree is released that you mentioned. We have to play. I think that would be so much fun.
I'll give you my friend code. I will give you my friend code.
I'm good. Corey, but you know what? Corey talks a lot of shit for someone that...
Who's bad at Mario Kart?
doesn't do that well. Yeah, like,
Wow.
he thought I was lying, and then I'll whoop his ass.
Okay, good.
So,
Okay, good. Because I love playing with people who are good because I talk so much crap that
yeah.
sometimes like I need to like go and like lock in when I play to be like, okay, am I still good? Like, is this still okay? Like on this flight, I'm planning on playing Mario Kart with my husband and because he's like the one person who can like sometimes beat me. And like I'll get pissed because I'm like, this is my identifier. You can't be beating me. I'm good. I'm good, I swear.
Exactly. So, Corey, if you're listening to this is a threat.
It
This is we're
is.
coming for you.
Or if you're
Uh,
watching Survivor, Corey, it's not a threat, it's an ultimatum.
oh. You're so funny. But anyway, Maryanne, thank you so much
Of
for
course.
joining me. I love that you're a fan of just
Yep.
reality TV, of Bachelor Nation. It's like my favorite thing ever. And it's been such a joy to be able to talk to you. You're so funny. You're so
Thank
amazing.
you. Not
Thank
as
you
funny
so
as
much.
Zach, but thank you.
Oh yeah, I'd say
No,
you're funnier than Zach.
no,
Well,
no, I'm
I gotta have Zach on the podcast then.
okay,
I'm sure he's
yes.
watching.
I'm pretty sure he's contractually obligated to
He's
watch.
got to, right? Like he has to watch it.
Yes.
So Zach, if you're listening to this, you're next. LOL.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But thank you so much for
Of
everything. What is
course.
next for you? What's going on? You
Oh
mentioned a
my
flight.
goodness. Yes. What's next for me? I'm flying to Calgary. I'm spending the weekend with Calgary with Connor, which I'm very excited for. And then after that, I'm just so boring. I'm just back at school. I might take some time off because like I said, I love having a carbon footprint the size of a Sasquatch. And I might take some time off and just like fly somewhere and like visit somewhere. I have like none of it is planned. This is just abstract. It's concepts of a plan. Okay. So I might figure something out, but just living life. What about you, America? What's going on in your life?
I'm like, okay, Mrs. Pitbull, Mrs. Worldwide, dale.
This is worldwide.
I am just hanging out here with
Yep.
Corey. So we have our Patreon. It's
Yep.
americorey.com/Patreon for
Ooh.
anybody that loves AmeriCorey stuff. We have a podcast. We're doing a BB7 rewatch right now. I haven't watched that since I
Oh.
was a child, so like I don't remember a lot of it. And it's been so much fun. Old school Big Brother just is on a whole nother
They don't fight
level.
like that anymore. They
They
don't.
don't fight like that. They don't do DRs like that
No,
anymore,
they don't.
where people will just be like in the DR, like, oh my God, that bitch is ugly. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
Like, you would never hear that on modern day BB.
No.
But so that's been a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm boring too. I'm hanging out. I'm watching Golden Bachelor,
Yep.
watching the challenge, Survivor,
Yeah,
Dancing
yeah.
with the Stars, everything reality
Yes.
TV. But that's pretty much it. For anybody listening, make sure to go subscribe at americatellsall.com, and you can find me on Twitter, adog956. Maryanne, where can they find you?
They can find me Twitter, Instagram, TikTok under Maryanne Oketch. I am a secret hermit, so I do not post consistently, but I do post enough. So yeah, you can catch me there. Chat with me about Big Brother. Chat with me. Well, not anymore because it's gone. But we can chat with me, of course, about the Golden Bachelorette because that's still on.
Of course, at least for a couple more weeks.
I
They're speeding this
know.
up, but it's
They
not
really
over
are.
yet. But thank you so much, Maryanne, for joining
Of
again. Thank you,
course.
everybody, for listening. Bye.
Bye, all.